Did we do a mic check? I didn't even do it. Yeah, I did. Check. 1 2 1 2. About to get it started here, you guys. Set up. Okay. Y'all ready for a good show? Y'all about to get it anyway. You're ready. Ready or not, here I come. Gonna find you and make it happen. What you say, though?
Ready or not. Yo. Quiet on the set.
Let's go. We get it going. We in right now. We about to go ahead and get you guys tapped in. Tag who we can now. Tag. Ooh, man. Can I tag Megan good? What's that? Is that me? Oh, yeah. That's always me.
Yeah, I'm like, you always got some shit going over here.
We about to get it started in a minute, you guys. Welcome to Reasons on Fired Up Thursdays, where you can come and tell us what you think the reason is of whatever we're talking about, the content of the day. It ain't sound right.
No, I didn't. You gotta do that over. You gotta do that over, man. You gotta do that.
Right.
You gotta do that over.
I'll do it to the intro. I'll do it on the intro.
So what's up, man? We'll do that afterwards.
All right. You got
a question for me yet? You got a question for me today?
A question or a story?
No. You got a question for me today? You go.
You sound like you want me to ask a certain question.
Anything. No, ask something.
And did I miss it earlier or something?
No, you usually ask me something before we get started.
No, I tell a story.
Tell a story. No, I ain't telling.
You got an Uber story?
No, I got a story, but I ain't gonna tell you. No,
I ain't gonna
tell you,
dog. I did have a story. I forgot what it was too, though. You know. Oh, no, I can't tell it either. See, we got a lot of stories we can tell, but we can't tell on.
A lot of stories we cannot tell live, y'all. For real.
We're gonna do actually a show one of these times where y'all have to pay for it to hear some certain stories.
Patreon.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
We're gonna get a show on Patreon.
Right? Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna call it For True.
True.
Shout out to all my New Orleans folks. Y'all know what that means.
Right.
For true.
For true. What is it? Let people know what that means. For true.
Are you for real? For true.
Got you.
That's how they even say
for true. But I can't even say it right.
That's a famous comedian. He said a joke about it. You gonna fuck me for true?
For true? Oh, really? Now that you put it in that, okay.
For true.
True. That's
no,
funny.
No, definitely. Where we gon' storytelling with Jordan and Fuel.
Oh yeah.
With Fat Boy and Fuel.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, we can do that.
You ready to get it started?
Let's get started.
Hold on, let me see who's in the house.
Who we got?
Nick is always
in the house first.
What's
hey,
up,
Nick. Watch out there now.
And if you guys on YouTube, make sure y'all check out Lust. Let us speak truth. You know what I mean? Nick is doing her thing on YouTube. So check it out. Just go to YouTube and subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Great show. She got great show.
Should I give the news or should I wait?
Man,
I think we should wait.
We should wait on.
You think wait?
Hey, look. Yeah. In a minute, man. Listen, you better start liking, sharing, and subscribing because I'm gonna remember all y'all, all our faithful fans and all our faithful viewers, the people we love, our family, like we call y'all. In a minute, we about to get too big, man. I ain't gonna be able to get a hold of Fat Boy. I ain't gonna be able to give y'all my number out.
Right.
I done gave my number out 4-5 times and got a call from not one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Some likes, some shares. Fat Boy, you inspired me nothing.
Yeah.
In a minute, after this news today, man, we operating on a different playing field.
That's right. So, yeah, y'all better go on ahead and start tapping in and make sure that y'all share on all y'all platforms, y'all other platforms.
But they say share life.
Share life. And we about to go ahead and get it started. Here we go.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been? I heard you was on a show called Reasons. What's that?
Hey, fat boy, what's up, man? I saw you on this show called Reasons with this guy named Fuel.
Yo, what's up? Got some information.
Yep.
They asking for it. What should we do?
Okay. Let's give it to him.
Let's do it.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Fuel.
Fat boy in the building. You already know what type of time we on. We here.
And y'all just
y'all
tapped
doing?
in the reasons where you can give us your reason, what you think about that we're talking about today. All right?
All right.
Is that better? That better?
A little bit better.
So, I know, right? What we got? We got lines. You guys. We got
some stuff for y'all. We're gonna get into this blue face drama.
Yeah,
a little bit of
get
it.
some blue face
A little
drama
blue face
going on.
drama. My favorite topic of the day, man. Misunderstood.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break that down. What that means.
Are you misunderstood?
Are you
Yeah,
misunderstood?
that part.
Is the title, and then
Talking about
racial slurs. Should
know?
we use them?
Yeah.
And that's culturally. We're
What
talking
is
about
used-
in each culture.
Yeah, like what is used culturally within that culture, and why others can't use those words, basically.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that might get a little bit deep. I don't
Might
know.
get heated
That
in
might
here.
get a little heated up in here. You know, we was talking earlier or whatever, and although I didn't say much or whatever, some things I disagreed with.
Absolutely,
I
I
wanted
know
to
you
wait
did.
for the show.
I know you did.
I was like,
I know
okay,
you
but
did.
you know, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So also, you know, we got your dear brother, dear sisters. But now today, your dear brother and dear sisters is coming from us.
Yeah.
We have one because we want to ask questions
gotta
too.
ask questions. And you know
we
what?
love you guys. Like most definitely continue to send
We
us
might
your
start. Yeah,
recordings.
we might start doing that.
We
though.
might have to start asking
every
because
every other show. I
sometimes
got questions. I got a question. You know, Fat Boy, you grow every week, so
right.
I always got a question for y'all.
Exactly. So let's get it started. The first thing, man. Oh, let me. I got the music playing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We here.
First things first.
First things first.
As you guys
First
know,
order of business.
Yeah, first order of business. As you guys know, and I'm gonna pull up a photo of how is it? Kristen, is that her name?
Shit. Don't get me the line, brother. Don't get. Hey, look, y'all. I'm so over the story at this point. I don't even be knowing these people's name. Right. And I know y'all say, Fat Boy, you in media, you supposed to know these things. I don't care to be knowing these people, y'all.
Okay, so her name is Krishan.
Krishan,
I think, yes. Yeah. And if you guys didn't know, this
literally
is actually,
Chris Sean.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know, this is actually the girlfriend of the rapper Blueface. Now I know a lot of you guys out there too that don't know who Blueface is. You know what I mean? But he is a well-known rapper, and this girlfriend that he has, they've been in the news lately for the last what? Hell, they were in the news last year, wasn't they?
Yeah,
on some shit.
Yeah, they've been going through this for the last year.
Just, you know, it just goes back to like almost what we talked about before with domestic violence and stuff like that, or whatever that's going in, toxic relationship. You know what I mean? And for it to even be lasting this long. But the last episode, from what I've actually understand, is her being arrested after fighting him or whatever. Right, and you stupid.
She whooped his ass.
Yeah, something like that.
Y'all was mad because he socked her. He only socked her because she was whooping off in his ass. Right. She didn't have she had no win with her. She was beating the brakes off his ass. Cause stories say TMZ said he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, you know, but you know, if you guys actually out there that's been watching too, you know what I'm saying, y'all might have some kind of comment what y'all think about the whole fact of them even being in a relationship this long, this toxic or whatever. Is it a ploy just to kind of get the you know, the likes, the whatever Instagram type of thing, or is it just, can you love somebody that much to actually keep going through something like this.
He don't love her at all.
Right.
I think he has a lust for her. I think, I kind of been staying out of it.
Yeah.
I kind of been staying out of it because it's kind of disgusting, and it just shows why our black women don't trust us. Because I think he sets her. We always say about putting us in a position to win, or putting a woman in a position to win. Unlike Fuel, he want to corner you, but but I'm all about putting a woman in a position to win, and I think that he's just like quietly killing her confidence and creating and making her more toxic with being this big rapper and just how he treats her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think that is love. I think that we live in a society now where toxicity sells, right?
Right.
There's no such thing as bad. What is it? No such thing as bad publicity.
Right.
And so I think that this generation and this culture is like, shit, give me the bad publicity as long as they talking about me.
Right.
I think from just her losing her tooth in a fight on the like basically.
Was that by him? From him?
No. Well, he found her on a show that he did.
It was a
He
reality
did like
show.
a little reality show,
Right.
and she was one of the contestants, and she never left. She was crazy then.
And what she did, what's the name? Like what was the label that Blueface is on?
He I think he signed he signed a Cash Money West.
Cash Money West.
But I think he signed a
now
100
did they have something also
it.
to do with her as well, as far as do you know? I'm just asking.
I'm not sure. I think it's a way to keep him as an artist relevant, because he hasn't been really relevant since Tatiana. And I think that this keeps his name in the news and stuff. But I think that it's bad to see, because he don't really care for her, and she madly in love for him.
Really?
If that makes sense.
No, it don't make sense.
Well,
it makes sense what you said, but it don't make sense.
but that's just what it is. Like,
she
in love with him. I'm probably, of course, the sex and all that, but just because who he is. He's a rapper. He's successful. He's buying her things. He's taking her out of, she's a broken young lady from looks like it. He's taking her out of her environment and then putting her in a new. Of course not.
And that's what she need to understand.
But she in her brain thinks she loves him, and you can see that she crazy over him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so, but him. She's just a girl that's around.
When you that crazy, where you gotta fight the mom, the sister. like Nick was just saying. She said Blueface is a drama queen.
Yeah.
Curlin, what's up? Curlin's in the house.
Watch out there, Carolyn.
She said no, not she beat his ass.
She beat his ass.
She did.
She whooped his ass.
And Nick also said that she is extremely annoying.
Yeah.
But
then he keep her drunk too, though. That's another thing. Like.
No. See, that's why he can't keep somebody. He can't keep it.
What I'm saying is,
that's her
as
thing.
Men, what we have to understand is, when we're dealing with these women, especially when they're young like that, it's a certain level of guidance that a husband and a man offers to his woman, and vice versa. If he know that she a lush, he ain't gonna continue to give her 1980, 1942 or whatever she drinking. He gonna like, hey, calm down, you didn't drink too much. But I think that he likes to see her that way, because it creates the buzz. They get on live. It creates that publicity for him.
Well,
right?
This is the thing. Do
you get what I'm trying to say with that?
I got exactly what you're saying.
I feel like me and you, we not just to use us as friends, right? As a friend, right? You ain't gonna let your friend, you feel me, go out backwards.
No, I got what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying, but this is the thing.
So in a relationship, you ain't gonna let your lady go out backwards.
What I'm saying is, it's almost more like you said, a setup. Because when someone else has your phone, on your Instagram, live, you know what I'm saying? You are purposely feeding this to the public,
right?
You know what I mean? And so, to me, it's kind of like it's disgusting to have our people
absolutely
that are in the line life, that makes decent money, you know what I'm saying, and then act a fool behind it in order to try to
sustain.
Exactly. But irrelevant. Stay relevant.
But that's what the last 10 years have. That's the formula, right?
For our culture?
For just the culture, period. Like the pop culture, that's the formula. if you look at Kim Kardashian and what she turned that sex tape into, right? That bad publicity. Paris Hilton, what she turned that bad publicity to, even now, right? What they've just done just with selling with Cardi B and just the selling of sex. Like, that side of it is, but then the toxicity of all of the love and hip hop shit and the, all of the toxic shit, that shit is the norm now.
Right.
So I feel like you can't really blame them for that, because that's their formula to success. Because that's what they
also
seen.
falls into sometimes you can get out of control with that shit.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it can snowball into something more serious, especially when you got family involved or whatever. So when you're up here fighting the mom and the sister and all that kind of stuff or whatever, to sell publicity or whatever, sometimes that shit can backfire on you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the part of that's what I'm getting at. And this is the ignorance of our culture that basically do that because they don't have any remorse or any regrets for the things that they do that leads into violence, which leads into them either them going to jail or somebody getting killed,
getting hurt,
or just getting hurt.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Getting shot, getting hurt, or whatever the case may be. Because at some point in time in this business, you can only say so much, especially in somebody's family or whatever, that somebody's going to snap.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's going to sit back and be, oh, well, it's just entertainment.
But it's hard. But it's hard to tell someone that, right? When it's been working for the people before you.
Yeah, it is.
You get what I'm saying? So you fall into, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that
that's what happens
with society, and then just how they publicize it, right? All the blogs are all over it. All of them just so they can have a job, they're promoting it. It's not like when we seeing this toxic behavior, we writing that shit off and like, I don't even fuck with that kind of shit. Like, I'm the type of person, when I see it, I just scroll by it. Today I had to say something because I just don't like the way he treat her, and I see different stuff, right? I see the how you look at her, how you treat her, how she is, and a real man caters to a woman a different way. You know what I'm saying?
I what's wrong?
No.
I get it, but
yes, she's responsible for herself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's a grown woman, man. So even
when you a real man, and you know this because you ain't gonna let your woman drink, but you ain't gonna let her show her ass like that. But you're
constantly letting. But she knows for one, okay, they've been through whatever they've been through. She knows whatever what's going to tick him off, or she's going to do something or whatever that's going to cause her to escalate into a violent raid or whatever the case may be. They've been at it over a year now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that it can get so deep to where somebody can't get hurt.
Absolutely.
Or whatever the case may be. And although you kind of like, I'm more so blaming her, I guess, in a way, because there's more men out here.
Yeah.
Even if you got your name, now your name is out there, whatever you're trying to do, whatever. There are other guys out here.
She tried to get on.
But she's going. All I'm saying is, for what she's doing and trying to be the woman that she is, or whatever the case may be, she's going about it the wrong way as a black woman in this business.
And he is
which
too,
has
though.
a lot of.
And he allowing
he's a rapper. So basically,
no.
But he's a rapper. He has a career, and he's doing his thing or whatever. As far as that. You know what I mean? So now you got, but now you a rapper with a toxic woman or whatever the case may be, and it's going to tarnish. It's going to tarnish
her toxicity.
Well, even though it's one that could be tarnished in his relationship, or tarnishing his reputation or whatever the case may be, which it may not be or may not be, because like you said, sometimes the violence and all that stuff causes people to listen to your shit, listen to whatever, so maybe he could be egging it on more just so they can keep that attention. You know what I mean? That type of thing. I get that part, but it's still not right.
Oh no, I agree. I'm not condoning her behavior. What I'm saying is, as men, we got to start taking a little more accountability for the women that we choosing, but also understanding that when you're dealing with a certain kind of woman, she needs a certain kind of guidance, and not to allow her to go out backwards, because if she go out backwards, you go out backwards.
That part, what
because
you just
she's
said,
the image of you.
Having the people that you surround that surrounds you, the ones who's taking the video of you doing all this bullshit. Obviously, you don't have the right correct people around you, because they're watching you fight, watching you get arrested, watching you get with your phone.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But
that's
going
to
happen. But
no, man.
But what I'm saying is, him being the man that she's dating, she land with every night. I'm not condoning. I'm just saying you can't take away the responsibility that he has for her as a young lady.
But when we stop taking light, we making light of these situations
At
to
all.
the point where no, I'm saying is as far as not us. I'm just saying like in general. In general, the media, they
been
take
like
light of the shit or whatever so much or whatever the case may be to the point where when do we kind of when do we stop? But that's the thing.
That's the thing. It sells
or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So it's never gonna stop.
Exactly.
It sells.
Right.
It only stops when we start addressing it like I'm addressing it, right? And like we addressing it, but also on the accountability side, not really giving them neither one of them. Yeah, she reckless. Yeah, she out. But then he being who he is, he got some control over the situation as well. He can keep the cameras down as well. He can keep the shit out of it. When he can't.
Well, the control is not to even be with her. Period.
Absolutely.
That's the control.
But my point exactly. He knows that him being with her keeps that notoriety.
Right.
And so he allows her to go out backwards because it keeps him in the name. Blueface in relevant.
Media, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. His responsibility is not to sacrifice her as a sacrificial lamb for his notoriety.
Right.
That's his responsibility as supposed to be the man for her. And if not, just be a player and have multiple women do the shit at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I do agree with I agree with Nick. She lost her cool card, black card, and woman card.
Go back. Carolyn said they sold her soul. They sold their soul for no boundaries.
Yeah, no boundaries.
Yes. And who's that? Izzy? Is ZZ? ZZ baby? Hi, ZZ baby.
Hey, fat girl.
Nick said her dumb ass got his face tattooed on her neck and got a fake tooth with his face. Oh, I didn't know his face was on the tooth. His rapping career is completely garbage. I promise I'm not angry. I just can't stand stupid.
No, I agree.
That part, Nick, is basically, I guess that's kind of like what I'm saying in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I'm not angry about it. I understand the business, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I just, like, I'm the same. I just can't stand the stupid that we put ourselves out there to look like. You know what I'm saying? And then we wonder why other race talk about us in certain ways. Why other race look at us in certain ways or be afraid of us in certain ways. And we get a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? That people don't understand or whatever. And you wonder, and we wondering why. It's kind of like shit like this that they see on the media. People, other race, Asians or whatever that comes over here from another country, they see stuff on TV. They don't see stuff that the people that they've actually met and said, oh, he's a cool guy. I don't know what y'all thinking about the, a black guy or whatever. They see what they see on TV. So when they're in their presence, they think some shit is going to go down because that's what we do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like sometimes, we represent ourselves in a wrong fucking light when it comes to trying to be a great rapper or such a stuff. You know what I mean?
I think, and that's what I'm saying.
But that's what Nick said. He ain't even that.
He's not even that. I think a lot of it, that's why I'm saying I kind of blame him because he just, it's trash. All of it's trash. Her behavior, the tooth, right? The tattoo, all of it's just trash, but all of it is to keep him relevant, right? And I think that it's like to watch a person crash to keep you successful, show what kind of person you are. And that's why I guess I hold him more responsible because he do a lot. She does a lot of it just to oppress him. And I want to get into this last comment that Nick said, right? She lost her cool card, her black card, and her woman card. But I want to tell you that she never had her woman card because she never was shown how to be a woman. You could tell that the way that she lets him treat her. You get what I'm saying? Hence the reason why I said guidance, right? As a man, when we enter in these relationships with these women, we have a certain level of responsibility to see that she don't got no guidance. She don't know how to carry herself as a woman. Well, it's my job. A woman don't carry herself like that. But he needs her to be a certain way so he can still be relevant. Do you get what I'm saying? And I cannot take away his responsibility because she is only her because of him, if that makes sense. We would not be talking about her if it wasn't for him, right? And which even more so keeps us talking about who? Blueface, because of her demise.
Yeah,
and that's foul, right?
Yeah.
When we allow it, and yes, she has a choice, but when you don't have no guidance and you want to be a part so bad of something, when you ain't used to shit, you gonna do it. And a lot of people say, well, no, I don't, but that's you at 30, that's you at 45, she a kid, right? She don't have no real guidance. He know better than that, right? He knows what he's doing to her.
Of course.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what makes it even worse. That's what makes the toxicity so messed up, because it's toxicity and manipulation and throwing a motherfucker under the bus just so you can even seem relevant. But this don't even make you look relevant. On to go towards what y'all was saying, right? What's so messed up about it? It only make you relevant, but it ain't gonna make nobody stream your damn music. Right? It's just gonna make people look at you as a toxic person. It's gonna keep your name.
You know what?
Keep your name
I think
going.
it will make them.
You think it's gonna get people to go stream?
Well, the thing is for those that didn't know who he was.
Oh, they're gonna go.
They're gonna go just to even check it out.
Okay, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
And
that's
each
just
time
that's
you can make another $1 million.
Of the whole business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, but my point is just I hate how we try to represent, how we represent ourselves
for sure
in the limelight,
that
whatever,
tacky.
To stuff like this, especially to domestic type of violence type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when something really, really go wrong, whoa, well, why we didn't know? No, you knew.
You know.
You know what I'm saying?
You knew.
Who was that? Carolyn said, facts, fat boy. Well, she was on Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, I do remember her on Love and Hip Hop too. And I think she had a fight on there with one of the chicks on Love and Hip Hop.
She didn't have no guidance.
You act, ratchet on the show, you may come up sadly. Yeah, exactly. That
Absolutely.
That's
the formula right now, Nick.
Curly said, yes, it might. Yes, it makes sense. He picked up apparently a child that was in a woman's body, has no morals. I think that's what she meant. Has no morals or values, and he played on that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which makes him
exactly Curly. Yeah.
Which makes him even more foul. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just sacrificing somebody so you can live better, and then treating her like shit. Because to keep it real, she don't the only real reason why he's still relevant.
Yeah.
Because I ain't listening to Blueface.
I to be honest with you, if you name something, I probably wouldn't even know right exactly.
You got the Tatiana. You know that bust down Tatiana. Bust down.
Okay, that's what. Okay,
that's
that's the thing. That's what I said. It's like
we got some other stuff, but you ain't gonna know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's seg that into are you misunderstood?
Come on, y'all. Come on now. I know y'all got some stuff.
So some of you guys out there, you know what I'm saying, you might be going through something, or you may going through an argument, or you might have a fight with your significant other, whatever. And yet, or even on your job, people might think, oh, you're the mean person at a job, or you're just too bossy or whatever. Are you misunderstood? Have you been misunderstood as well? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, if so, give us some of your scenarios of your things that you may have of you being misunderstood. Let me see. I'm gonna start. What about you, man? Have you been misunderstood?
I'm always misunderstood.
How do they misunderstand you?
All the time. Shit, where do I start? That's a great question. First I'm gonna start with just giving the definition so we can understand. We know what it understood mean, we know what misunderstood mean, but I want to give you the definition. And it says wrongly or imperfectly understood. Okay? Not sympathetically appreciated. And I think that's the part of misunderstood that I go through the most. No, I'm just playing.
No, actually, that's
a big part. Yeah, big part. But I think that as a man who is learning how to properly articulate his emotions, I think that I'm learning why men have shut down for so many years through the fact that they are misunderstood. I think that when we're passionate about certain things, or when we call you angry and we need to just vent, especially dealing with the women, right? You're taught to get a solution or taught to correct the problem. And sometimes we know the solution to the problem. We just need to vent the problem. But being misunderstood, it can be taken as making excuses, right? It can be taken as not being all the way there, right? It could be taken as so many other things and just not understanding that there could be just a lot on the plate, on that person's plate. That at that moment they couldn't properly articulate how they felt. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as a man learning to navigate and be a better boyfriend and potential husband, I'm learning how to understand when I'm misunderstood and how to articulate the
Ooh,
misunderstanding.
that's what you just said. Understand when you're being misunderstood.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how to articulate that from that point.
From that point on.
From that point on.
Yeah.
I think that might be my problem.
Yeah. Dead ass.
You know what I'm saying?
Dead ass. No,
Because
for real.
I think when I'm misunderstood,
Mhm.
I do articulate it in a very angry, frustrating voice.
Mhm.
You know, because my voice is heavy and it carries.
Mhm.
So when I feel like that somebody's not understanding me, I get louder,
Mhm.
which means that's not the right way. You know
Nope.
what I'm saying? But sometimes when somebody's telling me, "Oh, well, man, this is what you said, it's how you said it, or
Mhm.
whatever," you know, I misunderstand myself
Mhm.
because all I know is I'm telling you what I want you to know, but I'll feel like that if you're not hearing me, then I'm being, this radical, angry
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mr. Mean and all
Mr.
that
Mean.
type of stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But before leading up to that,
I
I
was
was
just
nice.
misunderstood.
Yes, I was being nice and I was
Mhm.
being in, but you're not really
You weren't understanding me.
understanding me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then the other thing that I have learned though too, even when you're being misunderstood, they don't understand you.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? It's like even if you like after all the shouting or whatever that you may go through with somebody or whatever, you still want to know if they actually really understand you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only way to know that they understand you or not is if they're basically going to have that conversation a different way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And on a different level, I guess, so to speak, like a different tone or whatever with each other. You know, like a person can misunderstand me. I could probably go off. I could probably be mad,
Mhm.
but I don't
You don't have to.
hold grudge,
Yeah.
and I don't hold any grudges, and I don't basically dismiss you unless you basically just want to be dismissed. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
unless
saying?
you dismiss yourself.
Unless you dismiss yourself. But this it's kind of like I can argue with you and we can be cool the next day.
I
We can be
agree.
cool for the next, or however time. But if you're really not understanding me, you're gonna think that I have this certain attitude or whatever, and you don't want to be bothered with me.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
misunderstood
Mhm.
where I'm coming from
Where
and
I'm
what
coming
I'm
from.
trying to
Yeah.
uh I can't even think of the right word. I want to say pervade. What's the word?
Yeah, you can say prevail.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Uh
Let's get in them
We're gonna
comments.
get in the comments
Real
real
quick.
quick.
Yep.
Yeah, before we get too far, because how sometimes we get to talking or whatever, and then we miss a lot of the comments. But yeah, but that is one of my things. It's kind of like I really am misunderstood when I get frustrated to the point where I feel like I'm not being heard or I'm not, something's not being taken care of that should have been taken care of. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And then it's kind of like, oh, now he's the mean boss. He's the mean guy. He's the such and such. He got an attitude. I don't want to work with that. You know what I mean? And that's fine or whatever. But we can always get over if you're really trying to understand me. We can always get over the whole situation and try to have a conversation because I am that type of person that's open for a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I've been misunderstood. Most probably since I was a kid, probably.
Yeah. I'm constantly misunderstood all the time, man. I'm trying to figure out a good story, man. But I think that just to go into just what kind of what you were saying, I think that that's our biggest issue as men, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing how to do two things, not knowing how to articulate being misunderstood,
Mhm.
right? Because the moment we're misunderstood, we close and we go in a fit of rage because our
We
feelings
get
are
in
hurt.
defense mode.
Yeah, because our
Yeah.
feelings are hurt. And so that's the first thing. Two, we we have a hard time understanding why you don't understand us. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that frustrates us the most. Right? Because I'm telling you exactly how to understand me, and you're through your thought process, right? And meaning the way that you think, through your emotions and things like that, you're trying to switch how and what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? And you're misinterpreting, which is making you misunderstand me. Because I'm telling you what is going on. But because you have an ideology of what you think that I'm saying, and you're not taking in what I'm saying because you're trying to dissect what I'm saying. You're trying to analyze what I'm saying. You're trying to bring a solution to what I'm saying. But at the moment, I don't need you to do any of those things.
Right.
I need you to hear what I'm saying so you can understand what I'm saying. Because then that makes me not feel misunderstood, which then makes me shut down.
I think any man that's and woman, don't get it wrong, any man and woman that are actually feel like, being heard, is the more appreciative of the maybe the conflict that you have, as opposed to me being like, oh, fuck what you talking about, it's about me. You know what I'm saying? Or, fuck what I'm talking about, it's about you. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you actually have somebody that actually listen and respond in the way of the fact that
they're
I
listening.
understand. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. Or I get where you're coming from.
I'm
And sometimes it's just those words. And sometimes it's the words. I get where you're coming from, but
I could take
let's
a
go there.
you know
what I'm saying?
suggestion after that.
Yeah, exactly.
I could take
And
a suggestion.
I can be cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to keep going or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I get what you're coming from.
But how about
then
we
you say,
do this?
But yeah. Well, then why is it that you did it? And then, okay, oh, this is why. Then this is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is blah, 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 or whatever the case would be. Then that conversation, so I think for me, that's a way of solution when being misunderstood.
But that goes
You know
back to
what
what
I'm
I was saying,
Go
right?
ahead.
Misinterpreting, right? Because I'm conveying you, right? What I'm telling you, it's almost a blueprint for you to understand this situation, right? But because you have your own ideology, you misinterpret the information that I'm giving you. I think that the misunderstanding comes from that person, right? I think that sometimes you're giving someone some information that they can't properly digest themselves.
Right.
And they misinterpret it towards whether it's on them, rather they get offensive, right? Because they don't know how to interpret the information that you're giving them, and you're giving it to them straight, right? But then you become misunderstood because something in their head is telling them that you're talking to them. Instead of just saying, oh, he's expressing himself.
Exactly.
Or he talking, let me hear him. And I hear it all the time. Women say all the time with men, like, oh, you don't talk, you need to talk, or let me know. It's like, why would I talk when every time I talk, I'm misunderstood? Right? What I'm learning now in my relationship, I'm learning what's good about being misunderstood is because I'm learning how to properly articulate my emotions. Right? When I'm misunderstood, instead of getting angry, I walk away, collect my thoughts. You feel me? And then come back, boom. Most of the time I'm misunderstood again, but I just learned a new way.
But when you go back, when you come back, the conversation is different.
It's different.
The tone is different.
The tone is different.
The fact of the fact that you're looking for the solution. You know what I'm saying? And you took that time or whatever to be kind of like, not only just you to calm down, but her to calm down.
Absolutely.
Because she still already thought something or thinking some other way or whatever. And then if you calm down and go and just kind of like, hey, maybe this is, maybe I can say this in a better way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can understand where I'm coming from.
This is what I mean. And this is what I'm saying.
This is actually what I meant.
You kind of got to slow it down.
Right.
It makes you more patient. I think the thing I'm learning about being misunderstood, you grow a certain level of patience. Once I can't revert back to the blow up and holding it in either.
Right.
So I'm going to check it. And when I check it and I'm misunderstood, okay, maybe I checked it wrong. Let me come this angle. When I come to second angle, I'm misunderstood. each time I'm learning how to articulate better, right? Each time I'm learning how to express my emotions without getting angry, without becoming offensive, right? Without yelling, right? I'm able to be calm in how I feel.
Right.
I don't have to yell at you because I'm learning each week because I know you're going to misunderstand me. So I know that in order for you
So you
not,
know she didn't get it. Like if they didn't
yeah,
get it the first time,
in order for you not to misinterpret what I'm saying
right?
this time, I have to come technical and I have to come a certain way so you can understand exactly what I'm saying. And if you don't get it the second time, and each time I learn
Yeah.
how to use a word, oh shit, damn, maybe I did yell there.
Is it fair to say to learn, like especially in a relationship, is it fair to say you have to kind of learn your partner's language?
Yes,
You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
And because if you learn each other's language, you pretty much get to a point where you start
You understand
understanding
it and you know.
what what you guys are talking about, whatever. But if you haven't really learned each other's language, sometimes you're gonna have that conflict or whatever. Up until you, like you said, sometimes you might have it was misunderstood and you had the argument, you had to leave, and then you had to come back. And because of that, you probably thought about how to come at her or how to come to
Yeah,
her. And
absolutely.
basically, that's part of the process of learning her
Her as
language.
well, for
Yes,
sure.
exactly, or
For
whatever.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you can basically then by you learning her language or whatever, lets her understand you
More.
because it's kind of like part of her now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And y'all involving each
I
other in
agree.
the whole
I
situation.
agree.
And that's, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Look what
Yeah.
I just learned.
Look. Yeah,
No!
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Talk to
For
me.
sure, because
All right.
it's and it goes back to what I was saying about in a relationship. We talk in regards to a relationship. I think pruning, right? That's a part of pruning because I think we all feel misunderstood, right? And I think that one of our partners' responsibility, if we're living with them and we're spending all this time with them, the one person in the world that should understand you is the people that spend the most time with you. And I think that that's your partner. You know when I'm upset, right? You know when you should know when I'm sad and it's coming off a certain way. But on the flip side, I should know my partner doesn't take well to that. And so if I do try to explain myself this way, it will be misinterpreted that way, and then I'll be misunderstood. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like a give and take. But sometimes the balls just stop at the misinterpretation, the anger, confusion.
And confusion. And it
You
stays.
feel me? And it stays that way. We don't come back at it because once we're misunderstood, we don't want to be misunderstood again.
Exactly.
And what
Yeah.
I'm learning is
Well,
that's not the right thing to do
that's
as
not the
well.
right
But
thing.
go ahead.
And the other thing is sometimes you're trying to force your logic onto someone.
Yes,
And
for sure.
I think that's one of the things, or I try to force my I guess that's the
Your
right word.
logic.
I've tried to force my logic onto you when you're not, and not understanding that, you're not going to understand my logic.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no.
Because I'm forcing it and I'm saying it in a wrong way or in an aggressive way or whatever. And sometimes the argument and being loud, after all of that, you really went deaf ear like at the first 2 or 3 words. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning that too. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I start arguing with you about something and we're getting loud at each other,
Ain't nobody listening.
ain't nobody listening.
No, nobody listening.
Nobody
Because
actually
you
listens.
begin to start to prove your point.
Yeah, or trying to prove your
You get
point,
me?
and then when you go try to prove your point,
It makes it worse.
it makes it worse
because it's not only one person being misunderstood, it's 2 people being misunderstood.
Right.
Because he mad because you misunderstood him, and you're upset because you
so he's got to come down at another defense.
You interpreted what he said the wrong way, or vice versa.
Right.
And so now this is just 2 people being misunderstood, and really all it takes is 2 people to remove themselves on both sides and say, you know what? Let me take my emotions out of it. Let me take how I feel. Let me take accountability for my side of the situation, and let me see what they're actually saying. But sometimes that's easier said than done when you have your own ideology and you enter sometimes some of these relationships with shit from your past as well.
True.
Let's get to these
We
comments.
got, I am very misunderstood. Folks take my kindness for weakness. Oh, so that's a different way of being misunderstood too.
Yes.
People taking advantage of you.
Yes.
And your kindness.
Yes.
That's what Nick
I get that
said.
too.
I get that.
I get that a
I've
lot.
gotten that.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
We ain't even gonna get into
Yeah,
how
we
much
gonna
I
get
got.
into We ain't gonna get into that.
But I mean, but no, don't that. This is live. We getting
Yeah.
into it. I don't care.
Yeah, people take advantage of me all the time.
Yeah, and that's the and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's been me in this business. You know what I'm saying? I've been taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not gonna say, I've been taken advantage of. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
you know
for
what I'm
real,
saying? And not to say, you know what I'm saying, that everybody that I've worked with and I've been in, and not just here, I'm talking about even at the college, you know what I'm saying, being in this business at the college or whatever, I was basically I've been taken advantage of, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To the point where you just don't learn or you don't realize it up until shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been that same way, Nick. You know what I'm saying? I am misunderstood by folks just by my kindness or whatever, and they think they just because I'm nice, they use it as a weakness. You know what I'm saying? To my personality, it's kind of like
advantage.
to take advantage. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's kind of like I'm the type of person I'm gonna give you the chance. I'm gonna put it out there or whatever. I'm gonna give you a chance, but then once you prove to me that and it takes a minute for me. Even sometimes, I think I try to understand people to the point where knowing where they're coming from, but then also I'm not dumb, stuck on stupid. I can see when you're not, when you're not being sincere or when you're not bringing.
That's another side of being misunderstood.
Go ahead.
Now that I think I always tell my lady that, and she gonna beat me up for saying this, but I always tell her that shit on you, right? You can't misunderstand me because the ideology that's in your head, and then force it on me to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Uh-huh.
And what I mean by that is, like you said, you fuck up, and then you want me to take the blame in so many words.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because I say you mess up.
Mm-hmm.
I express that you mess up, and then you look at me like, well, what did I do? I'm telling you where you messed up at.
Exactly.
But and then not only that is you misinterpret what I'm saying, and then it becomes about you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, you gotta deal with that.
Right.
That's on you.
Right.
You have to accept the fact that you was just wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a little harder for. Don't kill me, y'all. I think that's a little bit harder for women to do sometimes because men for so long have not really articulated their emotions. So it's easy to misunderstand us.
Okay.
Because we don't express ourselves.
I heard that. Let's get into more of these comments. Yeah. What we got? I'll let you get.
Until it slaps them in the face. Which we oh yeah, you talking about blue facing them? Absolutely. Carol says, I agree. This brings stigma to our culture with the negative behavior. It is like they expect to see this and judge us according, even if we don't bring the behavior to surface. That's what the blue face, for sure. Hey, moms. Nick said, hey. Mom said, hey, Nick. Mom said, what's good, y'all? What's up, family? All right. Marlon got a little COVID, man, so y'all keep him in y'all prayers.
Oh, for sure.
My mom said, yes, I am misunderstood like Nick because I am too nice. People take me for granted, not realizing it took some time for me to be the queen that I am, who is very meek and humble. But don't try me. Period. Period. Nigel said, is this going to be another 2-hour stream for me to cry through during editing to find good clips? I know, huh?
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Make you watch the whole damn show. You're supposed to.
Yep.
Nah, but that's what's up, man. Yeah, it might be.
We got more. We got more comments.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we got more comments. We got tons of comments. Latrice says, my sister, hey sis, my problem is when I'm misunderstood, I completely shut down because I don't feel heard or sometimes not seen, which leads to make to me keeping everything bottled up until it boil over.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I
And that's
have a
what I was
problem
just
with.
saying with
Yeah.
fuel. You gotta, each time you're misinterpreted, for your sanity, real shit, y'all, for your sanity, come back at that motherfucker again.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
a different tone, with a different time. So guess what? As you learn to start doing that, then you can really say, that's on you this time.
Yeah. That's been kind of like my
And
problem
you're
though too, because I
misunderstanding me
will let
because you're not
let
properly
something go.
interpreting what I'm saying.
I would let something go or whatever and let it
Boil
will
over.
boil over. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll let it go and
Check that
thinking
shit out the door.
instead of kind of like checking it at that point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't let it happen. So it won't be a conversation later or something that I have to let go. You know what I mean? If I check it at that point right then, then you know, like you said, it's on you.
It's on you
after that because we basically got it checked and we got an understanding. You understood what I was saying.
And
Bam.
each
You
time,
know what I
okay,
mean?
because
So
I want you to fully
that's
understand me.
that's been my I think that's one of my weaknesses. Kind of I'm trying to be, and that's the thing that people will play on your kindness too, because they see that you're that type. Like, oh, okay, well, it's cool now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then time will come, be like, oh, when I do it again, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's cool, and they thinking that shit just gonna fly.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's because now it done boiled over in me and whatever now. But like you said, it's on me because I didn't check it.
Gotta check out, and then also, right? And I'm saying not just checking it that one time. Coming, I'm more so in relationship, business, even business too, right? Coming before you blow up, coming back at it. Maybe they didn't hear what I was saying. Maybe I was yelling. Okay, well, let me come calm this time. Let me collect my thoughts and let me articulate it better. Boom. Oh, you misunderstood me again. I got something for you. So now, like I say, you will never boil over because hey, oh, you tripping.
Exactly.
Because I done came calm. My tone is good.
Yeah.
I'm not using trigger words. I'm not name calling. I'm checking my list.
Exactly.
And so now, like I say, you gotta live with that now. Now it's on the person who's misunderstanding you. And once they do that, they gotta go take accountability. Like, damn, is it me? Because this ain't the first time they coming at it. And for men, especially and sis as well, for you, right? I think that it helps you in your peace because it lets you articulate your emotions, but it also shows you how to.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think one thing is just kind of completely not try to let it bottle up.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And let it go. You know what I mean? Just kind of get it to the point where you can get an understanding.
Address it.
Mom says, Nigel, maybe information you can grow on. That's right. It is information. And we always pumping out that information for you. Anyway.
Got some game for you. No, I'm playing.
Misunderstanding. What we got? Carolyn said misunderstanding is when a person doesn't remove their personal feelings from the equation and then hear the other person's perspective from. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. For sure.
That's you.
She says, Carolyn, says we all have our feeling on hand when being approached with conversations before we actually hear the other person's point of view. Absolutely. I think that's just a human
we all
thing.
have our feelings on hand when being approached with a conversation before an action.
We all come with our own, because we all have our own ideologies. We got our own. I think personally, when somebody telling you how they feel, I think we personally feel attacked. Especially if the person doesn't know how don't know how to convey it. Because because we aren't properly taught how to communicate in our lives, period. When someone approaches you with an issue, it's usually a conflict. It's never to work out a solution. And so a lot of times that's where the misunderstanding and miscommunication comes in at, right? And so what she says is we all enter an argument or a debate with our own views.
But okay, so what
and
about?
So before they tell us our views, right? Just as we said, before they tell us our views, we already come with our own feelings and our own opinion. So it's hard for us to walk in the shoes of the other person because we're thinking from it as the aspect of us when it's someone else expressing their feelings.
Okay,
I can actually give you an example.
Let me real quick. What about if you talk to someone and y'all had an understanding, like if you're talking to your mate, y'all had an understanding, but yet that same issue arrived
So you didn't have an understanding.
Right. So being that you did so once that issue comes back up,
Right.
and from you thinking that y'all had an understanding because y'all talked about it,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It was no argument whatsoever. Y'all talked about it. Y'all thought you thought it was done,
Uh-huh.
right? Then the issue comes up, and a few weeks later or so, it's hard to, or is it? Maybe for others, maybe not, but is it hard to keep in the frustration or maybe even the anger, you know what I'm saying? Because you thought you had some, you thought that this issue wasn't we know that was weeks ago. Why are we still talking about it now?
Because a great point. One, like I said, you were never understood. And I think that
But with that, but understanding that person that they never understood means that now you're frustrated because they didn't, and you thinking that you're
you
moving
were cool.
forward,
Yeah,
but
right,
yet
right.
now y'all just went 5 steps back.
Yeah, but it also, how do we address this? Did at the end of me telling you how I feel, did there come to a solution? Was it truly resolved, or I just say this? Did we speak and we went our separate ways?
Well, at the point you thought it was resolved. If y'all had the conversation or whatever,
And it came back up, you saying?
yeah, and you thought it was resolved, whatever, and
Okay,
then
so
it
it goes
comes
back to
back
what I
up.
was saying. Then you have to, once again, especially in a relationship, if you want it to work, you have to articulate, okay, maybe you misunderstood what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, this was what I meant by that. And a lot of times that's misunderstood too. And what I'm saying is, to become a better communicator, I think Carolyn hit it on the head. I think once we remove ourselves out of it emotionally on both sides and just try to get our point of view out and say, this is how I feel. And a person who you're telling how you feel can receive how you feel without taking offense, then we can really remove, or we can alleviate the misunderstanding. I think that
Do you
because
have trickery in that though in some certain relationship? Is there some kind of like say for instance, when I was in a certain relationship and I basically, we talked about certain things or whatever, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna plan. Well, you thought it was an understanding. It was no argument or whatever, it's understanding. And then a few weeks later or whatever, it was the same conversation again. But then we just talk about this and then we understand this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
But
talking and
but
understanding are
but
two different things, and
but
that's what I'm learning.
but this is the thing though. If I respond in a very offensive way, because it starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because now my frustration, like, didn't we just talk about this? Or could I have been like, well, babe, we just talked about this, didn't we? You know what I'm saying? It's a different way, like you said, to kind
Yeah,
of
it's
respond or to
yeah.
address something
You
or
don't have to
whatever.
fly off the
You don't
handle
have to jump
to
off the
express
handle
your emotion.
unless sometimes people will jump off the handle because of the frustration, or they'll jump off the handle because maybe they had a different thought.
Okay, but guess what though? I have another thing. Maybe that's why they've been misunderstanding you all this time, right? Because you haven't been properly articulating your
Bring
emotions
it over.
anyway. And so the reason why it keeps coming back is because you're not making a conscious effort to change the way you address things,
Right.
and make a conscious effort to be understood.
Now, can I ask you this? Is there a point where us as guys feel like it's a weakness when we basically, like if you said it things nicely away or whatever the case would be, and then you feel like you're forced to kind of still be nice because you already talked about it, and I'm still trying to be nice or whatever, and do the women take advantage of that,
But it ain't for them. But I absolutely they do, of course. But
no, that was a good answer though. It ain't for
it's not
them.
from them.
That's a
It's
good
for
answer.
you.
That's a good answer.
It's for you to change that shit we learned, that toxic male shit, where
Right.
the only way we can express our emotions is through frustration and anger.
Right.
That's out.
Right.
You gonna get a whole different kind of man.
Right.
I'm gonna give you patience. I'm gonna give you something different over here, and you gonna understand me too. I ain't gonna force you to understand me, but I'm gonna come at it every different angle, every different way until you get it. And it helps me as a man. It helps me become more comfortable.
So it
with
doesn't. So it doesn't make
express
you
my
feel
emotions.
weak as a man.
No, at one point in time when I was living in my toxic male masculinity, it did.
Right.
But what I've learned now, and this is just recent, it's making me a better man. We was just talking about that earlier. The patience that I'm developing in becoming misunderstood is making me a better man on how to approach other situations when I'm misunderstood, right? In the business world, not just in the relationship world, in the working world, being misunderstood and being able to not blow up, articulate, oh, you misunderstood what I was trying to say. Let me say this. Oh, okay, you misunderstood. Oh, no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying this instead of, no, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. And we do that and we're not getting our point across. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this then. Do you agree, since we said business, if you were misunderstood and being that the fact that you was misunderstood, do you go back and try to fix that, or do you actually wait for them to actually because if you've been misunderstood or whatever, do that person or that other person, will they actually, you know, see that, understand that, and come to you and say, like,
because they
because they're
misunderstood it.
Right. So they're
So
basically on the fence still.
They on the defense. And so once again, for our sanity, right, and for our health, then that's what, because we talk about this all the time, things need to be put on the table, right? I need to properly articulate how I felt without yelling at you, without saying you, without name calling, without saying lack of work or whatever, right? Not placing no blame. This is how I felt. And maybe I articulated it the wrong way, but this is what it was. It makes you feel better because now you ain't yelling. Now you can't say I'm attacking you. Now you can't say I did all of the things. I'm comfortable now with me because I did all the shit I was supposed to do. I followed all the proper protocol to properly expressing my emotions and articulating my emotions. I did all the steps. When you're not properly receiving that, guess who got to live with that and gonna come back later and say, you know what, damn, maybe I did misunderstand what you were saying. Maybe it was me misinterpreting.
Right.
But I think for our sanity, yes, I think it's great to go back and say, hey, man, let's meet up. Feel me? I think we need to talk because I think it was a miscommunication and I was just misunderstood. And a lot of times in miscommunication is a lot of misunderstanding.
I think is that I want to know. I kind of is that a lot of that in our culture, our business? You know what I'm saying? In the black culture, in the black business, are we actually misunderstood and misinterpret of what people's roles are?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And is that one of the reasons why all of our, a lot of our black business can't stay together? And we can't build like a lot of these other cultures does.
It's about
I know I kind of went off the other thing on the misunderstood part. I mean, but it's still part of being
it's also
misunderstood.
about setting that standard,
You know what I
right?
mean?
And we talked about that. It's also starting as Gucci, right? If you're a clothing brand. It's also starting as Fox. This is a clothing brand. And we talked about this. We laugh. We're Hot 97. If you fuck up on the board, you're fired. Listen, clean out your drawer. You're done. It's a different standard. And I think that the thing that we have to do in black business, right, is set the standard and not feel bad about the standard that we set.
Right.
And then on the other side, right, I think as our people, we have to accept the standard and say, shit, if this was Fox, I had to do the same thing.
Right.
If this was Hot 97, I had to do the same thing.
Right.
Right. But it starts with the standard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Once you set that standard, now there is no misinterpretation.
Right.
Because the standard is this.
It's yeah.
It's across the board. It's in your face.
Exactly.
And that's what I think that in black business we do. If we want to establish our brands, we have to come in with the standard. And if we want, and I'm not just saying a luxury brand standard, but a Nike standard, right? A standard to where excellence prevails. And I don't have time for your excuses. I don't have time. This is a family, but this is a business.
Exactly.
And excuses don't pay the bills. It's a standard here at Fired Up, or it's a standard here at Streets Republic, right? There's a certain standard, and we live by it.
Yeah.
And then you will start to find people who are looking for a certain company with a certain standard.
Exactly.
But you can't give them the standard too late.
Right.
You got to start with the standard.
You got to start with it.
You know what I'm saying? Because
and that's been a lot of
even in relationships, right? You got to set the standard. Set because
start it off like
it
that
stops the misinterpretation.
Because you can spoil them to a certain way, just like even like in a relationship, you can spoil your girl at the beginning a certain way to the point that you really don't intend to keep it up throughout the whole thing. And then when you come back and you put those standards on whatever the situation is, she's tripping.
Yeah,
because now it's no. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like this ain't where you been. You know what I mean? And I think you just hit it on the nose. That's kind of like one of the main things when even starting a relationship or a business or in a business is to having those standards in place and in mind or whatever.
And asking questions.
Misunderstanding, baby. That's what we're talking about. Curlin said, "Feel better, Marlon." Fat boy. We are not listening to what is said. I just took a course on how to listen.
I need that.
All right, Carolyn. I need. I hope women listen to me. Then
I need it too. I'm learning how to listen too, y'all.
She said, "See, Fuel, that is what I am saying. You never listened, or the other person was not listening. Either never listened to what was said. It was a reaction, not a listen."
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more so than that's the thing. It's kind of like you said, a reaction as opposed to just actually listening or whatever the case may be.
And understanding requires empathy, people.
That part.
I really have to tell people this. Understanding requires empathy. Right, Fat Boy. Key word is to have an effective listening, to actually feel the person's concern and point of view from their perspective without trying to put your emotions in what they are saying. Absolutely. I'm finding a common ground to solution of the issues at hand, to where each person is truly in agreement for whatever is at hand. And I agree. And I think that's how you avoid misunderstanding. And that's how you avoid what Fuel was saying, right? Thinking you had an understanding and then coming back and there is no understanding.
Exactly.
I think that if you do what Carolyn just said, right, and have that agreement at the end, you don't have that. You don't have room for misinterpretation. Because what was said was understood, and what was understood.
I'm learning that, although not learning it in relationship, but also learning it in business. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that's like how a lot of business do break up. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of business don't make it or whatever, because even though some of them will have standards, but they let shit get away.
Yeah, and misinterpretation and miscommunication. And a lot of times those group people egos. A lot of times in those situations.
Nick said some folks are great listeners. However, when it's time for you to talk, deaf ears or defensive.
Yeah.
Curlin said yes. With empathy.
If you have empathy.
Yeah.
I think if you
it's funny, man. It's actually, and I'm gonna just say this. It's actually this is a learning course for me too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes I get frustrated just by feeling like somebody's not hearing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I will go off the chain or whatever, because if I've said it and repeated it, but like you said, I probably said it the same way and repeated it in the same way. But so they're not listening. Now the deaf
getting
ears,
worse.
the deaf ears, you know what I'm saying?
Each time they shut down.
Exactly. So that's a good lesson, because y'all know I'll go off on them.
real quick.
You know
and
what I'm saying?
I used to be quick to it too, but I learned that it don't help anyway. You just end up getting mad, right? You just end up frustrated. That person go on about their damn day and live their damn life. You just running around feeling misunderstood.
Exactly.
Instead of properly making yourself understood and then realizing that she can't understand me today.
Yeah, that part.
That's on you.
Speaking of misunderstanding, man, let's get into this next segment, and it's kind of like I don't know. I could say it's a segue into this, man. It's a racial slur.
A misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Of the word.
Racial slurs, you guys. Let me hear.
Okay, pull up. Okay. Carolyn says, I manage 35 people. Say they are training us how to listen. Okay. Well, shoot. Send us some tips. Email us some tips. Racial slurs, people, and how they're used.
Text me or email me some some of the stuff that you learned.
Listening tips. I definitely need some listening tips.
You know what I mean? Yes, racial slurs, how they are used.
Okay. How you want to start this?
Huh?
How you want to get into
How
this?
I want to start it? Okay. We have sometimes people that feel that because that they're say for instance, if you got a black mom, white dad, no, white mom, black dad, your kid is mixed, and the fathers sometimes are not in the picture. You know what I'm saying? So the mom is stuck with bringing up their kid. You know, the kid's acting bad, and she uses the N word for her kids. Is it proper? Is it okay for her as a white woman to call her sons in the N word?
What's her kid? She can call them hell, whatever the hell she wants to. Absolutely not. I think it changes, right? I think we were talking about that earlier.
For your Michael.
For one, she's calling him that out of anger, so it's a racial slur off the dribble, right? I think that we had a situation.
The context she
put it in, it definitely becomes automatically a racial slur. I think in that case, it's a little different. She was calling him she wasn't saying y'all need to get it together, or you know what I'm saying. She was calling him that out of anger, which makes it the negative context.
But what if she was like just out of regular day conversation or whatever, and be like, you know, like I don't even want to say the word on here because I don't want people to, but you know, like no, be like, hey, like N word if you don't get your butt in here.
And it's white mom.
And it's a white mom.
That's tough, bro. I don't know. I don't know how I would take it. Yeah. That's a good question. That's a great question, Fuel.
Because
it's a great question.
Either way, I think it's, to me,
this is
the thing is
I get what you're doing though.
It's
I get where you're going with it.
It's amazing how we
use it.
We use it, and the feeling that comes from when someone else uses it.
Yeah.
It's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
Even if they're saying it in a good word, just like we were talking about earlier, you know, saying you got rappers or whatever that rap the songs or whatever, and all these, you know, white people, Asian people, whatever, goes to the concert, and when they say the N word, they're saying the N word too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and then some of them only going to say it around the ones that they know that they can say and get away with that type of thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's this whole first, you know, thing. So when you're actually birthed, you know, half baby, half white, half black baby, or whatever the case would be, is that okay to still call them the N-word?
Oh, shit.
Talk to us, y'all. What y'all think?
If you got a little nigga, I mean, if you got a little black in you, period. Because that's what they.
Yeah, but can it be?
That's what the books were. The way that you said it actually makes a perfect sense. It can be taken definitely out of context. It definitely could be. It definitely shouldn't be said. I think that we were talking about this outside of it. I think that all cultures do it, right? I used to go to school in East LA. I watched them call each other beaners and wetbacks all damn day. But let one of us call them a beaner or wetback, they gonna whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that culturally, we all do it.
Hold on.
I think that, hold on. I'm not gonna go somewhere with it. I think that.
Hold on. Before you go there, though.
I think that because
no. Before you go there. Okay, I want you to lose your thought.
But because due to pop culture and a lot of these kids coming from these urban communities, the word has been, our racial slur has been publicized, right? It's national. And it makes it seem like, oh, only black people call each other racial slurs. But nah. Italians call each other guineas all the damn time.
Really?
Hell yeah.
That was another that was another question.
Hell
I was kind of
yeah.
like, what are the other slurs
I
for?
got them all.
Really?
I
think Nick just put some up too here.
I know them all.
One of the slurs, she said racial slur.
Yep.
N-word, honky, spick. Why do I don't want to say that, but I can say spick and honky.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about it, black folks only call black folks niggas. You never hear a Caucasian saying, "Come here, honky," or Latino saying, "Come here, spick." No, I don't. That's the point. No. That was the point that I was actually going to get at, because I never.
White people call each other trash all the damn time.
In fights.
No. Okay,
No.
Like I just said, they may not call, because they may not use spick, because spick is not a word from over here.
Right.
But I've been with Mexicans that call each other beaners and wetbacks.
Yeah.
Amongst themselves.
I mean, just out of regular, just
them talking shit. Hey, you fucking beaner, give me this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they talk. Just like how we be like, nigga, go get the fucking shit out the car.
Right.
You feel me? White boys might not say, get your hunky ass out of here, but they be like, boy, you acting like a wet redneck. We all use racial slurs
within our
country, each other. Hell
okay.
Yeah.
That was the question that I was. That was actually
Armenians
the main question.
do it.
Really?
We
What's
all
Armenian?
do it.
You know,
I don't know there.
I should have looked up.
I know for Jewish, they call them kikes. I know Italians, they wops and guineas.
Wops and guineas?
Yeah. Irish, they call them mix. Depending on where you at, if you Latino, they're gonna call you a spick. Of course, us niggas, moolies.
Okay, now you say that like
because we got it's a bunch of names.
Yeah,
for us.
of course. But within their circle or whatever, they might have used it with each other.
Hell yeah.
Okay, but what you're saying though, but do you ever hear them outside of that? And if you were to use it, are they offended by it to the point where they're ready to fight?
I got an answer for you for that.
I'm just
because culturally, like I said, our music, we talked about this earlier. With our music being so popular, we kind of have created a slippery slope with the word in general, right? Because we are the culture, we are pop culture. Our culture is on display constantly, if that makes sense. So we don't get to see the Mexicans call each other beaners, right? But because
they don't use it in their music,
they don't use it.
They don't use it in their shows.
Absolutely,
they don't use it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got redneck on Discovery Channel,
yeah. But no,
you
they got redneck. They use
got
that shit.
Backyard
I don't
redneck.
know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about. Rednecks call themselves rednecks.
Yeah.
See, I think that, like I said, due to the notoriety of the word, right, and everybody using it through rap music or through pop culture being hip hop and R&B and how it's used. When we use it, we're using it totally different. Right? It's not even a racial slur when we use it. Just like amongst their culture, it's not even a racial slur, right? It's some shit we joke around with each other with. With us, it's not even some shit we joke around with each other. The shit's so engraved in us because of how we were raised that shit. At one point in time, I was saying nigga every other 7 words. This nigga, I told this nigga, that nigga, this nigga, that. But now I do king and stuff like that. But don't get me wrong, I still, when Fuel something, I'm still a nigga, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, a black king and all of that, but a lot of nigga over here. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what that word means.
Right.
But I think, to make my point is, I think it becomes an issue because ours is more publicly displayed. Our swag and how we talk, we get on a lot. How we talk, you know what I'm saying? They are more reserved and keep it within themselves, but we can't do that because we the most emulated people in the world. So that's a slippery slope. And like I said, I understand why the Harry Belafontes and the Sidney Poitiers didn't really want you to use it, right? Because what we've done with the word is made it cultural. And if you listen to hip hop music, if you're listening to certain things and you grow up in certain environments, you using the damn word.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if you Asian, if you go to Long,
Well, that's
go
the
to
thing.
Long
That's the
Beach
thing.
right now,
So
they saying nigga.
right. What
Excuse
was
my
Nick? They
word.
just
Go ahead, get to these. We got
nigga does not equal homie.
I agree.
Yeah, and
I
yes,
agree.
we do agree with that.
I agree with that. But in culturally, through the time, it does. Right?
I you know what?
Culture, no. I'm not talking. And see, this we just talked about being misunderstood. You enter when I made that comment, you entered that with your own emotions on the word. No. What I'm saying is culturally.
No, I just entered with trying to understand what you're saying.
No, what
I
I'm
didn't
saying,
say it in the
culturally, we call each other. That's my hey. When you talk about your partner, man, that was my boy. That was my man. We used to be quiet. That was my nigga, right? That's your homie. You was talking to your homie, your friend. You would never let anything happen to him. Culturally, amongst us, that's how you describe your homie.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what we have.
Now,
That's what we do.
I get what Nick saying in the large point of it, right?
Yeah.
But culturally, that's exactly what it means.
Okay, so say culturally, right? Like you're saying, or whatever. And like you said, we're at a concert. You know what I'm saying? Or we at a whatever. And does it make you feel, which I think it probably would make me feel, because it's almost like, oh man, we out here around it. It's a song, or I can say it. You know what I'm saying? But the way they're saying it, or the way it's kind of like a joy. It's like a
excitement, like they a part of a
club.
Like
a gift or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they get to say this word. We take it wrong because of who it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? And we take it wrong because really, in hindsight, the history behind it, and how we really shouldn't be using it for ourselves.
I agree. My dad's been on me about it for years.
That's why we take it wrong, because we already know it's kind of wrong within ourselves, but we use it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to hear someone else use it because they don't understand the story, they don't understand the history of where this word is coming from and why people think it, and then when you hear them say it, you're thinking to yourself, they're thinking like the history, the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Who we are or whatever, and we just niggas or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You kind of follow me?
I do.
And so that's when I feel like it's even within, I don't know. I just never seen a black person call Latino a spick. I never seen it. I mean, I'm just saying on my end, I just never seen it.
Well, way we grow, I don't think we grow up like that.
We haven't raised. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we grow up different.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, we weren't raised to either use other slurs or whatever. Now we've gotten mad and used redneck.
Oh yeah,
that's been a basic. You know what I'm saying? So
I call them crackers.
So we probably have, you know what I'm saying, or cracker or whatever the case to be. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like Asians and Latinos and Armenians and all this stuff that we have here, I was never raised to sit here, whatever the word it is that
we don't even know that name.
Have to have. Yeah. One, we don't even know it because it's not in the history of knowing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And two, if it's offensive to them or whatever the case may be, we've grown up to respect, not to use it or not to call them that.
I've come to the point where.
Y'all agree? Disagree?
No, I've come to the point where, because I'm a huge hip hop fan and I'm in agreement with the old heads, man. I think that we've kind of perpetuated the shit so much that when Timmy say it, bro, you could whoop his ass, but he's gonna go right back home and listen to Lil Baby and be yelling that shit again. So it's almost like,
I guess I'm old school.
No, absolutely.
I'm old school.
Like, I'm not gonna let a white boy say it in front of me.
No.
But I be pulling alongside of people.
If I'm driving,
and I look inside the car, I be seeing them, and I laugh and nod my head and keep going.
If I'm driving, right, and I got a song on, or if they got their headsets on, and I hear them say the N word, to me it almost sounds. It feels like, they're trying to take the chance of, am I gonna get away with this? You know what I'm saying? I can say this, or whatever. And this is the thing is, now some black folks, it don't bother them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But other black folks, you don't know which one is going to bother.
But we gotta change
have
that,
a thing on, because it's kind of, the change is can't be good for some and not for others.
I agree with that, but then we also have to change the way we react to the word anyway, right? I think that just because a motherfucker call you a nigga or he's saying nigga don't mean knock his damn block off and spend the rest of your life in jail for socking the shit off some white boy.
Right.
Because that's exactly what you acted like.
Well, true, but
do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I mean? No, and I feel like It's past. It's been used. It's been used. It is woven inside of the fabric and the culture of America.
Okay.
Quietly, everybody, all of y'all friends.
Okay, hold on.
Whether they Mexican, Asian, whatever.
Since you say that,
they at home. They saying that shit.
Since you say that, if you was on what's the name, or if you was in a room just by yourself, you and Trump, for example, you and Trump in there kicking it. He's staring to the song. He say the word. Would you feel offended by it, or would you be like, yeah, Trump, let's go, baby? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
do your thing.
I got a
no. That's an example. Answer the question. It's the culture. It's what's going on.
If he say what? Say it again. Say what he said.
If he's singing the song, y'all in a joint or whatever, and he's using the word,
I'll probably tell him tighten up.
My point.
I'll probably tell him tighten up.
Exactly. But you just said.
But hold on, I don't know.
But you just said.
I had an experience where I was in a bar in Virginia. A white guy was sitting there. He was singing, I think, like Tupac. He probably said like nigga like twice. Now I could have hauled off and slapped the shit out of him. But then that was when I realized that, one, he probably was trying to trigger me. Two, he was triggering me. And if I had slapped the shit out of him, I would have went to jail. And then three, I realized that, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like they don't understand the feelings that you get with it from them using it or whatever, but yet we put it out there for them to use.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard
that's
to.
A bad thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to like check a motherfucker when you perpetuate the shit every day.
Exactly.
And that's why I've come to, and maybe that's where I've come to the acceptance that as long as you ain't, I've always had the fact that if you got a little melanin in you, you get a pass depending on where you come from. That's how I felt about it.
Depending on where you come from.
Depending on, because I got
so like the example
I got my Samoan brothers.
The example I just used of Trump because of where he comes from.
We know he's a white boy,
right?
Yeah, we know he's ignorant.
But if you don't know, what I mean by
that is, in our community where I come from, we grow amongst Mexicans, right? And I know a lot of Mexicans that use the N-word around their black friends, around their friends. That's something that they do culturally. And they're accepted culturally by black people saying it, right? I know Asians who get along, who do it. My Tongan brothers, the same thing.
I wish an Asian would call me a nigga.
I'll beat this shit. No. It's some Asians out here that's
but you know what? I mean,
culture.
That's what I'm saying. It, but the point
I get where you coming from.
But the thing
culturally,
is,
it's different.
But this is my point.
Where you live.
This is the thing, though. Okay, all the way around. We can talk about this shit, and we can be acceptable or whatever all the way around. But really, when it comes down to it, is they know that it's insulting.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And those that know that it's insulting wants to be able to use it because they want to be able to get away with something. A lot of them do. A lot of them do.
But I think that's our emotions putting it on them because we are so caught up on the history of the word. I'm a little more of, I understand a little more.
And we can't forget the history. And we won't forget the history or whatever. And it's embedded in us.
I also know that it's publicized as well. And I also know that it's a lot of people who relate more to our culture and that use that word than that don't.
Okay. Even if they relate, that's the thing. If they relate more to our culture, then they should understand.
What I'm saying
let me finish. They should understand not to be able
to.
But
you grew up in a different place.
Well, but the point is,
where it's black and white. Do you get what I'm saying?
Even though,
so when they say nigga, it's coming from a different. But what I'm saying is,
you're missing my point though. My point is, if they so-called understand our culture and they so-called being a part, then they should always have that respect. I don't care what you singing. I don't care what you were talking about. I don't care how funny, how cool we are. You have that respect.
I don't think no white boy's gonna do it in front
of our culture or whatever, and understand that this is something that you do not do.
I agree with it.
Period.
But it's hard to say that on one hand, and then when they turn on the radio, nigga. So
okay.
It's like
understanding the
reality
culture.
Of that.
Understanding the culture. It's within us to say what we want to say, how we want to say, or when we say it.
I would
not
say
how
this.
we want to say it, but when we say it, it's because of the fact that we don't come in in the same context that someone else saying it and saying it, feel like they saying it to get away with. You know what I mean?
But I've been in different rooms though. That's what I'm saying. I ain't never been around anybody that I've been, except for that one time I was telling you with the white boy. That's a good comment, good shit. Anybody I've ever been around, whether he been Mexican, my tonguing partners, they come from where I come from. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know it ain't no mischief. I know they not trying to get away with it. Now, I have been around some who be trying to get away with it, and I check them for it. But I've been around people who are from where I'm from that use the word. And I got some, my Latino and some of my Asian brothers that won't use the word because of what you said.
Because they respect it. And that's what my point is that's what it should be all the way around. Not exceptions. It should be that all the way around. There is no exception.
China Mac is like he Asian, and he one of us. Because
I grew up not even calling anybody something like a racial slur.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, even if I was to, I don't even think I even hear a country song saying redneck, and I would be like redneck.
Like, cause when I lived in East LA, they called us niggas.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've listened to a song be like,
they call it
that cracker and so wrong. Everybody is in ham bone hell. I never, you know what I'm saying? It's just and got into that and feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because if somebody's with me and I feel that's offensive to them, I'm not going to do it. You know, and that's how we was raised. A lot of young cats these days, or whatever, like you said, the way it's been put out there, or whatever, and it's perpetuated to be easy or you're supposed to accept it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when you accept it, and you accept it and don't educate whoever that's saying it, why not to say it, or why, you know what I'm saying? If they don't already know or whatever, if you don't stop and be like, bro, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. But if you let them go and let it get away,
but we can't.
Then they're going to go around someone that will check them.
Fuck out. That's
you
cool
know what I'm saying?
But
and that's where we got to be.
My point I'm making is we can't also to really stop other cultures from using it, because then that's why we don't understand our true power. Exactly. We would literally have to erase it out of all of our music. It's people hate to be black, but they emulate being black.
Ooh, I remember you saying that earlier.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, like, it's a thing to be us.
It is a thing.
You get what I'm saying? And so the fact that we perpetuate as a comedian, that an Asian comedian make a joke about that, like, black people so cool, they made their own racial slur cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we the only people in the world.
But we didn't make them cool for you, motherfucker.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
you know what I'm saying?
we the only people, because our swag and because of we emulate it. We the most hated and most emulated. So we would have to shut the shit all the way down and literally do it back like they did in the day. Where it was only cultural, literally.
True.
Where it was only said in our communities, where it was only said, but with the advancement of hip hop and the advancement of music and us, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
They all gonna be said it in a minute. But go ahead, let's get to it.
Go ahead.
Nick says, I'm mixed, and when I was younger, I used the word nigga because of the men and women I affiliated myself with. As I got older, it's a sign of disrespect. As far as the Italians, fat boy, stop watching movies. They do call themselves guineas and Nick. Depending on who they are, I think it's all cultural too, right? I think depending on your community.
Nick said, how old were they, fat boy?
Who?
I don't know. I guess
for who?
I don't know how old they were. Nick, answer back on that. Right, fat boy. I haven't heard it too. You haven't heard what too, Curlin? See, we went so long, man. You gotta quit talking so long, man. We be missing all the daggone.
What was that?
I'm gonna blame it on you. Curlin said, I was so embarrassed a couple of weeks ago. I used the term nigga while at the most all blacks. What? While at a most all black, I use the slang. I live in the hood where I wish a nigga would and got quiet. Where was you at? Hold on, Curly. Where was you at when you said that?
Cause I be wishing a nigga would.
Right. I wish a nigga would. I'm in the hood. I wish a nigga would. Like, this was the wrong place to use nigga. Although the luncheon, what's the luncheon?
The luncheon.
The luncheon was mostly black. Niggas was.
I agree.
Totally out of place.
I agree with that.
It is
because it, once again, a certain
and then also
culture area,
and also
certain people
also
don't like
sometimes
it.
Also, sometimes people feel like when you said it in a certain atmosphere in a certain place or whatever, they feel like they can say it.
Yeah.
Because they see that you're okay with saying it or whatever, and then if I say it back and it's cool. You know what I mean?
Well,
So sometimes you gotta watch that.
I
That's like
also
that shit
think
Curly
where
was
you
saying.
from too.
Right.
Because a white boy from Montana know not to come talking no nigga shit to me, gonna get his fucking the block knocked off.
Society drives the word in lyrics. That's right. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's tough. I have a question.
Go ahead. Read it.
I do. I have a question. Do you believe men of other races can be called kings? I do, because they had kings in their culture too. Every once in a while, I call my Mexican brothers kings. Every once in a while, if you're a cool enough white boy, you might get called king by me too.
Yeah.
Depending on how your vibe is. Absolutely. I think that we all have a rich history, right, of being kings and queens, and I think just us being who
That
we
makes
are, we started first. But that's a great question.
Yeah, we started first. They want to take everything.
Yeah, that's just,
laughing at fuel. The only time I use nigga is out of anger, which makes me ignorant.
yeah.
And I think that's a
Yeah.
lot of that's
That's
a lot of
that's
us.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's a lot of us.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do that or whatever, and it is out of anger or whatever. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just say yeah on that.
Yeah, but I also, y'all a little older too.
Yeah.
And I think that
And that's the
the
thing.
validity of that word in y'all time,
It carries a
it
lot
carried
more.
way more weight
It
than it did
carries
in
a
our
lot of
time. And
weight.
I'm not taking away
Excusing
from it or
right.
making an excuse. I'm just saying that we grew up on Tupac, Jay-Z. That's all we ever known. The shit is in us.
But although this is all you've ever known, you've also known the history. You see
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? You've
Absolutely.
also known the offensiveness that and how it feels if someone.
But I
comes
also
to
know
you,
historically that
said,
they used it
I don't
amongst
mean to
each
be-
other as well.
I'm pointing at you. I don't
Yeah.
mean to point.
No, you good. No, you good. You good. But I
you
also know historically, those same people used it amongst themselves as well.
yeah, amongst themselves.
Right.
What I'm saying is
But the nigga wasn't as popular as he is now. You understand me? Look at my hands, y'all. Look, the nigga wasn't as popular as he was now, man. All right? He wasn't like that then.
Right.
Hey, we like that. Even though that's why they really smoke us in the street. I really want y'all to know that. That's why the real agenda is to lock us down, is because we dictate everything. I tell people all the time, there is no the ending of apartheid without Martin Luther King. There is none of this shit, y'all. Y'all see in this world the American Negro. Let's talk about it. Okay, I like that. Just because it's not the ER and folks use an A, it's all the same meaning. Like I said, it's absolutely. I agree. But then I just know that people culture is different now. The term is different, and I've been switching up how I use it myself. Just because other races use the N-word does not make it accepted. I don't give a damn if they were brought up with black folks. It's still disrespectful because their family never lived the struggle. I'm guessing
ancestors' life.
Ancestors' life. I'm with you on that too.
And I guess that's where I'm at. That's
I'm
like
with
where
you
I'm
too.
at.
But you
it's
can't.
Not acceptable in any ways, forms, or means or whatever. And I would say the same thing for us to any slurs that we would use towards other cultures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not but it's less of us doing it and more of them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. It's kind of like and that's why this question came up or whatever, racial slurs and how they are used and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And when it comes to ours, because of the struggle that we had and our ancestors and had to go through, it's still something that lived within us in our bloods, no matter what generation that you come up in.
Okay,
because if you're educated in that generation
example
or whatever, as to if you've been educated in this generation, and someone comes to say that to you, I don't know, and I know it ain't just me. There's something that if you hear that from somebody else, it hurts.
Yeah.
Not hurt like oh so what, no, it's a sting.
It make you angry.
It's a sting. It's kind of like that that's something that's not. It's just
the Confederate flag did that to me when I moved to Virginia.
Yeah.
That's probably the only. At first, I didn't really, because I'm not from that way.
Uh-huh.
It didn't really bother me until I understood what it meant to them,
Mhm.
and then it start to bother me. But then it also just people love their history in the old South and all that shit, and so I had to learn that part of it too. But
Mhm.
I digress. The point I was gonna make is just to basically off Nick said. I agree fully, but I got somebody for y'all right now who is not black and says nigga all the time, and ain't nobody gonna tell him he can't say nigga, and that's Fat Joe. Fat Joe a Puerto Rican. Fat Joe's a Puerto Rican and say nigga. And culturally, and this is the point I'm making, culturally, he's has been accepted not only as being able to say it, but as a nigga himself. I mean, my Puerto Rican brothers, they, you know, they fuck with us probably out of all of the other, you know, Latino brothers, they probably fuck with us the most. And they more basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Mess with our struggle or fight with our struggle. You know what I'm saying? Our Puerto Rican brothers, our Dominican brothers, or whatever. Our brown brothers as well, but in LA, our friction is so tense sometimes. But that's what I meant by that nickname. Doesn't make it acceptable, but from where he grew up, from where he from, he a nigga. I'm sorry, I'm not using the word like that, but I have to use it like that. Like where he from, where he grew up, it don't make it acceptable, but you can't go to him and tell him he can't use that word. Cause he gonna tell you, nigga, what? There's some real niggas around me that I use this around. You can't tell me nothing because the word affects you a certain way. Cause I love them blase. You know what I'm saying? So I use Fat Joe as just an example. You have that in communities all over the world. People just like Fat Joe. They may be Asian, they may be, it doesn't accept it, right? But in their communities, they're accepted. And we can't, because we have our own opinion on a word and how it should be used, we can't take the validity away from him either, right? We can't take the fact that that's how he was raised. That's woven in his fabric as well, even though he's a Latino brother. But he grew up around brothers. He went to school with brothers. His closest friends is brothers. So he's using that as a different term. So we can't go to him and be like, nah, you can't use that because you ain't black. Yeah, we can. But I know Fat Joe. I know when Fat Joe using it, he ain't using it like that. So to go with what Nick was saying, I get you, but our times is different. The cultures is different. And it's a lot of communities like that. Like I say in Long Beach, you'll run into some Tongan brothers that look like brothers, but they Samoan or they Tongan. And they just like us. Oh, I was using Puerto Rico because they Latinos. And because Fat Joe say nigga. Yeah, that's why. Dear brother
right.
time.
Huh?
Dear
Yeah,
brother, dear
yeah.
sister.
It's time real
Hey,
quick
great
before
talk,
we get
y'all.
our time. And I guess just to kind of sum this whole that portion of the
Don't use
show
it.
up. Well, not to say that don't use it, but it was also to understand a younger point of view because you're younger than me. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And you grow up in a different, culture. I mean, not culture, different era. You know what I'm saying? When it came to music, when it came to school or whatever the case would be, to the point where um, those of us that are, from the older generations, you know, will be offended by it. We'll have certain to say things about it, understanding and then not understanding why that is acceptable to some
Yeah.
and not to others.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the point that I
Mhm.
wanted to, so hopefully you guys got that what he was saying and
What you were saying,
what I was
absolutely. Yeah,
saying. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Because I
Both,
get,
yeah, both of
we both
this, yeah.
I mean, we both do agree, of course, how disrespectful it is and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it's a
But
lot
we
of
also,
it's woven into
yeah,
the
but
fabric
we
though.
also
And we
understand the
gotta
culture
understand
of
that.
where it comes from. I mean, what the culture that is said in, to the point where sometimes it's like it can almost not be helped but said or whatever, because you can be just jamming to a song or whatever and
I'm
be
with my
like,
niggas, I'm chilling, and
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh shit, I just said the
yeah,
word.
you know.
No,
I just hate how
I
some people
agree.
get
I agree, Nick. A
follow
lot of
lead.
folks, I'm sorry, she said, be the stopping point for your age group.
That part.
And
Yeah.
I do. So I address all of us as kings, right?
You do,
And
and you do. Yeah.
and that's how I do it. So I remember one point in time, I was in college and I dressed the brother. I said, "What's up, young king?" And he came, was like, one day he was like, "What's up, my nigga?" I mean, King, and his eyes got big, and I'm like, nah, bro, because I'm that too. And you know what I'm saying? He laughed at it. He clowned. He was like, "Dang," but I didn't want him to also feel like he was offending me when he said it either, because I know culturally, it was when he was saying it, he didn't one get it. He wasn't saying it from the back history. Two, culturally, he been saying it, and that was a term of endearment coming from him, even though it's not in his group. It was right.
I think where our culture really dropped the ball in this though, for real, is like Nick said. You know, what I'm saying that there's a lot of followers.
Yeah,
and no one took the lead on saying, hey, you know, what I'm saying this is not cool or whatever. You know, and continue to preach that and to have that
they
going
did
on
though,
because it's
right?
being accepted. Who
They did.
Who?
Hold on. You had your Harry Belafontes. You had
No,
that.
no, our that's
Oh
our.
yeah. No,
I'm
but I'm
talking
saying,
about the younger
yeah, but
culture, the new
you
generation.
also got to understand that our generation, we rebels. We were raised by. First of all,
That's the problem.
we raised by.
That's exactly
We're
what you're
raised by
talking about.
Tupac and
Exactly.
a
That's the
whole
problem.
nother level culturally. So that's what I'm saying. It's also a different pride behind the word for us as well.
It's pride for us, not for them. That's
right,
the point.
absolutely.
But the point is teaching them, or at least understanding or whatever. It's not cool. It's not coming up like that, and you ain't getting away with that type of shit.
Absolutely.
You don't have nobody. When we were coming up, yes, there was a fight about the shit because it was disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
We don't deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. I don't care if it is in a song. Motherfucker, don't say it.
Yeah, but Marvin Gaye and them and Mid Condition and all them wasn't saying nigga every other song.
Mid Condition.
So it wasn't. Prince wasn't saying nigga every other song. Michael Jackson wasn't saying nigga every song.
Exactly.
So
but that's what
once
I said.
again,
That's
it
why
goes.
we saying.
That's what I'm saying. But once again, it goes back to but once again, it goes back to culturally. Y'all grew up in a different time.
You weren't raised by no one but your mama. You follow Tupac. Yeah. Exactly.
No. I'm saying that's who heavy influence on our culture. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the ones. And it's actually a clip of him explaining why he used the word.
Used the word. Yeah.
And I want y'all to actually go tap in with that.
Yeah.
And check Tupac out, because he broke that down at a conference, I think, with like Maxine Waters.
Okay. I think I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into this, man.
Dear brother, dear sister.
Dear brother, dear sisters. And I have to explain it to him.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have it on you, but
and you ain't put up the.
I know.
Yeah. I could talk to you. So, dear brother, dear sister, y'all already know. Send a less than a 1 minute clip to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com and entitle it "Dear Brother, Dear Sisters," and send us y'all questions. I need questions this week. I need a dear brother and a dear sister from each man and woman on this live right now. You understand me? You understand? Yeah, dear brother, dear sister. Make sure you send your recorded message
after you did all that, right?
Mm-hmm. To firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Love y'all for that.
Okay, so this week, man, I wanted to actually, because I never got to ask. Sometimes I have a question I want to ask. Sometimes Fat Boy has a question that he want to ask, whatever. So we figured this week that we would ask a dear brother and dear sister question. And my question is, and sometimes, I hope they know whoever see this doesn't get mad, because we got mostly ladies that watch us. I've looked at our analytic chart or whatever, and I see it's a lot of women.
Oh yeah, I know.
So don't get mad at me. Just teach me, love me, all that good stuff. All right. So I have a dear brother, dear sister question. I'm about to pull it up on the board here, and like I said, don't be mad at me. All right. Y'all say that you're smarter than men. So why do y'all play dumb?
It's called subterfuge, Phil.
Yeah.
Say it again. Say it again.
Dear brother, dear sister. No. Matter of fact, no. Dear sisters.
Dear sisters.
Dear sisters. Y'all say that y'all smarter than men.
Uh-huh.
So why do y'all play dumb? That's a good question. That's a damn good question if I have to say so myself. Because y'all know I want to see what y'all answer is.
You was on your Einstein shit with that one. You was trying to break the world, right? That's what is it? The Einstein relativity, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's groundbreaking shit right there. That's a great question. I would say subterfuge and manipulation. Shit, I dropped that real quick, huh? I say bullshit and manipulation. And I was
just gonna say bullshit.
I think because I think because y'all are smarter than us, y'all know, or y'all try to play smarter than us, y'all try to manipulate our brains to make us feel dumb, knowing y'all doing dumb shit, know y'all smarter than what y'all doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even really got nothing for that.
Yeah.
You pretty much summed it
you
up,
know,
really.
y'all know what y'all doing.
You know, and it's
worse.
amazing to me. Yeah, and it's worse. It's worse because
you know better.
You know the truth.
You know better.
You know it.
You know better. Damn it.
And that's what it's somewhat offensive too. You know what I'm saying? Because when you talking to someone and you explaining it to them or whatever, and you know it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know it's not. You know.
She's misunderstanding you on
she's
purpose.
She's misunderstanding you on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know that, and it's that. And so that's my
that
question.
I
ain't seen no woman answer.
I ain't
seen nobody answer.
Okay, I
that
see
that.
Nick says some women play dumb to get a reaction from a dumber man. Damn. Hey, Nick, tighten up on us. Start it out. See, but that's a form of manipulation.
Exactly.
It's subterfuge. That's that bullshit.
Some women play dumb to get a reaction from a dumber man. So
and
now you messing with him, man.
Now you messing with his brain.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know he dumb.
What's kind of
It's like calling a person stupid. What kind of shit is that? That's wrong. That's wrong.
That is so wrong.
Why would you play on a person's intelligence when you know they have any? They don't have any. That's fucked up.
And that's why you know. And I've grown up around 5 women. You know, basically raised me when my mom passed. So that's why I understand. I see the smartness that a woman has. I seen the creativity. I seen how they be able to make a piece of bread, a damn near loaf of bread. You know what I'm saying? Know how to make a basic ass meal a fucking feast. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing or whatever. And understand how smart a woman is. So when you basically explain something to them or whatever, and they play dumb like they don't know,
yeah,
that escalate a very bad conversation or escalate the argument. Basically, if you're having an argument, you know, it escalate an argument.
But I think it's Nick, you make it. I think it's a woman trait. I think that they do it purposely.
She said it could be a teaching moment.
Right? Right?
No,
we said that. We said that. Remember, we didn't use teaching moment, but we use test.
Yeah. We women.
If women test us often.
Yeah.
And I think that what y'all don't understand about us is a lot of time y'all do them tests and y'all the ones that fail. But go ahead.
Curlin just said we play dumb to give men the sense of empowerment.
But don't empower me by manipulating my mind though.
Right.
Empower me by making me a greater man, empower me emotionally, empower me spiritually, but don't power me by playing with my intelligence.
But it's good to see that's what you this is good to see that's what y'all you know what I'm saying?
So
I want answers like this.
You basically play dumb to make me feel like I'm stronger or I'm smarter.
Right.
Nah. Because then you manipulating me to thinking that I'm something that I'm not, and I entered the world unprepared. Jojo said, "Don't be playing with me." Vlad, play dumb, little goofy.
the fact that you could I couldn't even read, but there was like, look, I didn't even know it was little goofy. I didn't understand.
Goofy.
Curly said, knowing damn well your ass is not capable, but we give you the gratitude of being successful.
Yeah, that ain't right.
That ain't right at all.
That ain't right.
That ain't right at all.
And y'all wonder why niggas be lame,
like
man.
We be tripping and shit.
No, for real. Because you gassing him up to fail.
This is the other thing. Smart nigga know when he's being played dumb.
No,
that's
for real.
The show. You know what I'm saying? So that's what y'all need to learn about us. If we smart enough to know when we're being played or being knowing that you're playing dumb on him. Yeah. Watch out.
I'm so sharp, women. I play dumb before y'all do, so you gotta be smart.
That part.
Just like that. I play so dumb, you gonna have to explain shit to me.
Right.
Yeah. You gonna show your smarts, and then I'm gonna know when you manipulate me because I'm gonna listen to you, and then I'm like, oh, you manipulate me, that's bullshit. And then I'm just gonna chill back.
Marlon.
He said Vlad say play dumb, and I'm
gonna
gonna play dumber. No, for real though.
Hold on, dog. Do y'all got a slang or something? How the hell you reading this shit? Because I'm looking like, what is dumber? Dumber? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
that sounds like some South Country shit or something. What the hell?
Okay.
Okay.
That's when the games begin. Communicate and be nice. Okay. I agree.
We agree to
Yeah,
that. We agree to that.
yeah.
Did you have a dear brother? You had a dear brother, right? Or did you have a dear? I had a dear sister. You had a dear brother. You forgot what it was.
I
That boy
didn't even
forgot
write it down.
He
No,
forgot.
hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. That was Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She said, "Not all of y'all." That's what Curlin said. No,
not.
That's true. Not
Yeah,
all of us.
but also y'all gotta understand. A lot of y'all a lot of women. I'm sorry to break this to you. A lot of those boys you were dating weren't men. Just because he was 35 and 45, if he wasn't a man, he didn't know how to properly articulate his emotions. He didn't know how to convey when men misunderstand it. We're learning to be men. I'm learning to be a man every day. What that means, a man is just not a dude with a penis, right? A man has a certain level of accountability and understanding. So a lot of times when y'all say comments like that, you hadn't really dealt with a real man. Because a real man is not going to even allow you to play with his intelligence anyway, like Fuel said, right? He's going to know that you're an intelligent woman. He's going to know that you're doing wrong because he's a real man and he's paying attention to you. But those dudes that y'all been dealing with be a lot of clowns, and they allow y'all to do shit to them because they want to be a part of y'all just to get some pussy.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Curlin said, "I am thinking while you're sleeping."
And so
that's a true fact, and that's why I don't never believe when someone acts so dumb. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where they try to play like they don't understand what you're saying or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Half the time y'all know what we even going to talk about the next day. You know, like this nigga about to get on some blah blah blah. And then when they didn't get on it, you play dumb, like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You already prepared yourself to lie on something that we basically know that you know. You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
So, and that's real. That is real. And y'all got to stop doing that shit. Y'all can't be doing that shit. And being especially in a relationship and being a successful relationship, you know, a growing relationship, you can't play a man dumb like that. All right. Thanks for your honesty, fat boy.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm out here.
Right.
You know, it's got to be real with y'all.
Right.
I done seen it. I see women do it all the time. I see it all the time. But like I said, I play dumb. I play dumb with you. Like JoJo say, I'm gonna play a little dumber. I'm gonna let you explain what you're saying. Real dumber.
Yeah. So understand that too, y'all. Sometimes we play dumber.
Yeah, a lot. And let me say that too. A lot of times y'all think y'all smarter than us, and y'all
play
not.
right into our.
And you play right into our shit.
Exactly.
Because what we do is, oh shit, it's about to be some game for y'all, ladies. What we do is play dumb, so y'all play yourselves. And then you wonder why he had all the bitches anyway, because he already knew you was on bullshit in the first place.
From getting it.
So you thought you was playing him, but he played way better. And that's why, because when you clever, you know,
you play better.
You play better.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. I love y'all, man.
Man, that was good. That was good. Also, you guys, I'm just
announcement.
We're gonna announce it. Maybe let's give it a week.
Give it a week.
I want to, I want to see what it do. What it do. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And then we're gonna
we got moving on up.
Yeah.
Bigger and
we
better.
got some shit going on.
I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
Get ready now. If y'all want to invite to my wedding, y'all need to be liking and subscribing.
Oh shit! This nigga said the wedding. You said the W word.
I know, huh?
I
know time.
Somebody's watching, baby.
Hey. Whoa. Somebody's watching, baby. Whoa.
Like the Nigerian I spoke of last week, thought I was old and dumb who got left hanging.
Oh, because he was goofy the whole time.
He was dumb.
Yeah, he was goofy.
yeah.
He was goofy.
Yeah,
we said he was goofy.
He was on some BS.
And I bet you he ain't used to no bad bitches like he was saying. Excuse my language. Damn. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought it was just me and you here.
I know we can use the N-word today.
Yeah, we been wilding out today, y'all.
But it's all good. It's all good, man. We appreciate you guys tapping in. We appreciate you guys watching. Continue to subscribe. pass the word on to anyone that you can. I mean, we getting people from actually different countries now that are subscribing and stuff like that. I'm talking Australia,
Nigeria,
Nigeria, London. You know, I have a few people from London or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying?
What's up with you?
You know, although you guys might not
teams?
see the big numbers up there, but the numbers is there. The numbers is there. So,
hey, listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. Listen.
I'm telling you.
Look, I'm telling you. Fat Boy gonna get Hollywood on y'all.
Right.
Right? And y'all know what y'all gonna say? Look at this nigga here. You know what I'm saying?
You've been congratulated already, dog.
Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn.
Hold on. What JoJo said? Because I don't speak that language, man. Give me that. What it said.
He said, "Lil Goofy, it's Lil."
What the hell is that, man? It's Lil.
It's Lil Goofy.
It's
love.
It's love.
It's love.
Okay.
It's Lil Goofy.
Let's get out of here, man.
Lil Goofy. Hey,
thanks for watching, y'all. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all all
there. Once
listen.
again, you know, check out our show, Lust. Let us speak truth. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. I think she posted at least once every week. I know for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And check out my episode. We got an episode. We gotta get fuel. Matter of fact, Nick, you gotta get us together.
What episode?
No, I was saying because I got an episode on Lust. Nick invited me out.
She put it out.
It's out there. So check out that too.
Yeah, check out.
And then we gotta do one together.
Exactly.
And then y'all just show, you know, Nick, our sister. She always show us love. So y'all definitely gotta go support her.
Yeah, it's time for her to come on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Promote or whatever.
And when you gonna come down here?
I know I'm some BS. Anyway.
Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. Great show.
Guys.
Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, and remember.
When they're talking behind that,
you don't even know. Remember, you guys, when they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
Hey, we been doing.
We'll get it next season.
Yeah, no, we've been doing good every week. Besides that one, though.
Peace.
You have 2 new messages.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you been? I heard you was on a show called Reasons. What's that?
Hey, fat boy, what's up, man? I saw you on this show called Reasons with this guy named Fuel.
Yo, what's up? Got some information.
Yep.
They asking for it. What should we do?
Okay. Let's give it to him.
Let's do it.